Have you ever submitted payroll, only to realize too late that you've made a mistake? Maybe a bonus was missed, an hourly rate was entered incorrectly, or a new hire was completely left off the list. The feeling is terrible. You've got employees who are counting on their paychecks, and now you have to deal with the headache of corrections, manual adjustments, and frustrated questions. It can feel like a high-stakes, nerve-wracking process every single pay period. But what if I told you there's a way to virtually eliminate these errors? What if you could catch those mistakes before they ever become a problem? Today we're diving deep into the single most important step in the payroll process that many people rush or skip entirely: previewing payroll before you submit it. This isn't just about clicking a button and hoping for the best. It's a systematic approach to ensuring accuracy, compliance, and employee satisfaction. We'll cover everything from the basic checks to advanced techniques, and I'll share some insider tips that can save you hours of work and a ton of stress. So grab a coffee, and let's get started on mastering the art of the payroll preview. Why previewing payroll is a big deal. First, let's talk about the why. Why is this step so crucial? It all boils down to three key areas: accuracy, compliance, and efficiency. Accuracy is the most obvious one. A single mistake can have a ripple effect. An incorrect hourly rate for one employee can lead to an underpayment, causing financial stress for them and an administrative nightmare for you. An overpayment, on the other hand, means you have to figure out how to get that money back, which can be a delicate and uncomfortable conversation. When you preview your payroll, you are essentially giving it a final, thorough checkup, catching everything from simple typos to complex calculation errors. Next, there's compliance. Payroll isn't just about paying people. It's about following a maze of federal, state, and local regulations. This includes things like minimum wage laws, overtime rules, tax withholdings, and deductions for things like garnishments or retirement plans. A mistake in any of these areas can lead to costly fines and penalties. When you preview your payroll, you're not just looking at the numbers. You're confirming that you're in compliance with all the relevant laws. This is your chance to make sure that taxes are being calculated correctly and that all required deductions are in place. Finally, there's efficiency. You might think that spending an extra 15 or 30 minutes previewing payroll is a waste of time, but I promise you, it's the opposite. The time you spend now is a fraction of the time you'd spend later fixing a mistake. Imagine this. A mistake is found after payday. Now you have to void checks, issue new ones, communicate with employees, and potentially deal with your payroll provider support team. It's a huge time sink. By previewing and catching the error up front, you save yourself all that hassle and headache. The essential checklist. What to look for. Okay, now for the practical part. Let's break down the preview process into a comprehensive checklist. You don't have to do all of these every single time, especially if you have a very stable payroll. But knowing what to look for is the first step. 1. The big picture. A high-level overview. Start by taking a step back and looking at the big picture. Most payroll systems will give you a summary report or a preview screen. Total gross pay. Compare this period's total gross pay to the last period's. Is there a significant change? If your workforce size has been stable, a large jump or drop might indicate a missed employee, a massive bonus, or a batch import error. If there is a big change, make sure you know why. Total taxes. Do the same for total taxes. Are they in line with what you'd expect? A sudden spike could mean a tax setting was changed or a large bonus pushed some employees into a higher tax bracket. Total deductions. Check the total amount of deductions for things like health insurance, 401k contributions, or garnishments. Does this number seem right? If a new employee signed up for benefits or an existing one changed their plan, you should see a corresponding change here. This high-level check is like a smoke detector. It won't tell you exactly where the fire is, but it will let you know there's a problem that needs a closer look. 2. Employer-level details. The fine-tooth comb. Once the big picture looks good, it's time to drill down into the individual employee details. This is where most errors hide. Hours worked. Verify the hours for each hourly employee. Are they accurate? Did anyone work overtime that wasn't properly logged? Did a manager approve all the time entries? This is a great time to cross-reference with time tracking software or timesheets if you use them. For salaried employees, make sure their pay is as expected, especially if they are on a fixed schedule. New hires and terminations. This is a classic spot for mistakes. Make sure all new hires have been added to the payroll and their information is correct. This includes their pay rate, W-4 elections, and any benefit enrollments. For terminated employees, double-check that they are not included in the current payroll run and that any final pay calculations are accurate according to local labor laws. Pay rate changes. Have any employees received a raise or a bonus? Make sure those new rates or one-time payments have been entered correctly. A common mistake is to enter a new rate but forget to apply it to all hours worked in the pay period. Deductions and contributions. Look at the deductions for each employee. Are their health insurance premiums being taken out correctly? Is their 401k contribution rate accurate? Are there any new garnishments or child support orders that need to be in place? This is also a good time to check for pre-tax versus post-tax deductions. Taxes and withholdings. Verify that each employee's W-4 information is correct. Has anyone submitted a new W-4 form since the last payroll? Check their marital status and the number of allowances they've claimed. This is especially important for new hires. An incorrect W-4 can lead to employees being undertaxed and facing a big bill at tax time, or overtaxed, which can be frustrating. 3. The exception report. Your best friend. Many payroll systems have an exception report, or something similar. This report automatically flags anything that looks out of the ordinary. This is your absolute best friend. An exception report might highlight an employee with significantly more or fewer hours than usual, an employee with a $0 paycheck, a new employee with no deductions, a large bonus payment, a pay rate that was changed. This report is designed to do a lot of the heavy lifting for you. Don't just gloss over it. Read through every single flagged item and make sure you understand why it was flagged and that the data is correct. With that said, thanks for watching and until next time.